Hey there everyone, my name is Clove, also known as Fogelchan, and I decided to start this new series where I'll be speed painting a scene from one of my Warrior Cats AUs and telling you a little bit about that AU and what is going on in that scene. So let's hop right to it with my first one in the series, Willowclan, one of my favourites. In the front there we have Willowpelt, the titular character of the AU herself. This AU centers around Willowpelt running away from ThunderClan and basically starting her own clan because of the pressure of having a half-clan litter for the second time. In this AU, it runs off of the premise that Darkstripe is half-clan, half ThunderClan specifically, and Greystripe is actually half WindClan.
You said Darkstripe was half ThunderClan.
As I was saying, Darkstripe was half ShadowClan, with his dad being Archeye. In this AU, Willowpelt, not Willowclan, I keep on going to say Willowclan instead of Willowpelt. Willowpelt had Darkstripe and he grew up facing bullying and discrimination in the clan for being half-clan because it was pretty common knowledge. And then she fell in love with Tornear and had his kits, and she couldn't face the idea of having a second litter of kits grow up facing that, and so instead of facing her problems, she ran away. In this litter, there was not just Greystripe. If you look at the Warrior Cats timeline of births and deaths, you might notice that right before Rusty joined ThunderClan and became Firepaw, there were actually about 4 kits lost in that leaf bear right before. It's very statistically unlikely for a litter of kits to only have one, so I like to think that Greystripe and maybe even Sandstorm had a litter mate or two that sadly passed away due to the cold. In this, we get to see a few more of those litter mates. I've combined this AU with another headcanon that me and my wife share, that Tornear is Webfoot's father. So Tornear and Willowpelt have Greystripe, Webfoot, and Rykit, who does die, much like any of Greystripe's littermates would have in canon, and then one Spotted Feather who makes it through, because you might notice in this drawing we've got them all in a location. They're not just in ThunderClan or something. Where Willowpelt ran away to was Highstones, and she got help from Tornear, who would sneak off and hunt for her, and also Barley, and together they managed to get enough prey to keep the extra kit alive more than would have in canon when there were numerous young litters of kittens to feed. So Spotted Feather survives and we get to see lots of her. She's actually in this picture, I'll point her out in a second. When Tornear finds out about the kits, he does not quite want to leave WindClan himself, unlike Willowpelt, because there's not really anything at stake for him and he can come sneak off and visit very easily. However, when Broken Star attacks WindClan, things change just a little there, because now WindClan is no longer safe, and so Tornear had kept this secret for a while up until now, goes to Tallstar and says, I might have kits outside the clan, and I think this could be to our advantage if we're going to flee, because you might remember Morningflower, she was very, very pregnant and it would have been wiser for her not to make that journey. Of course, that wasn't an option in canon because all the clans were against each other, but in this AU, Tornear is able to say, I can take her to where my kits are being looked after, and Tallstar agrees to this due to a lack of other good options. So they stay there. When Greypaw becomes an apprentice, he finds out about the other clans at the time when Firepaw and Ravenpaw go to the Moonstone. He's very curious about clan life. They try to uphold clan life there. That's why he has his name, Greypaw, even in Willowclan, and he wants to get a taste of real clan life. So he asks, please can I go there? And they agree. Now, Darkstripe the whole time has been aware of this all going on, and Willowpelt requests of him, can you take your brother and pretend maybe that he's a rogue that you've found who wants to join the clan? Darkstripe's probably here thinking, we've got one kitty pet, is that not good enough? But he brings Greypaw in, and ThunderClan, of course, is thinking the same thing as Darkstripe. That's a lot of outsiders, but they let him in. More kits the merrier, or more apprentices the merrier, and he pretends that his rogue name was just Grey, and they give him the apprentice name Greypaw, as was his name already, and he bonds with Firepaw and Ravenpaw as per canon. There, of course, is going to be a lot of different implications for Firepaw in this early AU, where he's going to be there without Greypaw. I haven't gone into too much depth of thought about this, but he would have to find a different reason to join the clans, as it was Greypaw originally on his first day out that encountered Rusty in the two-leg place. I believe that it's his fate to end up in the clan, so he would have ended up in there sooner or later, and Bluestar already had her eye on him, but the exact details of that are unclear, as well as who exactly would be his mentor. Speaking of mentors, Darkstripe might have been Greypaw's mentor, but I'm not too certain on that. There are a few cats that are aware of Willowclan, mostly the medicine cats. When Willowpelt ran away, she enlisted the help of her sister Spotted Leaf, and that's who had the idea to take her up to Highstones to make a camp. Of course, Willowpelt was not very good at hiding, and there's not really that many hiding places in Highstones at all, so most of the medicine cats found her very quickly. This has led to the situation that when Yellowfang was exiled from ShadowClan, instead of wandering around being a rogue, she knew a place where she could go instead, and she ended up wandering to Willowclan. There's also a lot of plot change with Tigerstar arc because of one thing: Darkstripe and his bonds and allegiances. I believe Darkstripe's a bit of a mummy's boy. He really loves his mum and would do anything for her. That's why he so eagerly, well, maybe not so eagerly, but he agreed to take Greystripe in and even mentor him if he had to, because he'd do anything for his mum, and he even comes and visits every now and then to Willowclan. He has to do it very rarely because he might get caught, obviously, but he will come and visit every now and then. But because of that, he very early on, compared to the books, turns on Tigerstar. When Ravenpaw runs away from the clans at the end of book 1, he goes and lives with Barley. Instead of that, in Willowclan, Greypaw says, I know a place where you can go live over here, because my family's there and they'll look after you. And Ravenpaw agrees and goes there. Then, one time Darkstripe goes to visit, and up until this point, Darkstripe believes that Ravenpaw is a traitor. Tigerclaw fed lies to all of the clan, all of his buddies, saying that Ravenpaw was spying for ShadowClan. So when Darkstripe comes and he sees Ravenpaw in the camp with his brothers and sisters and with his mum, he freaks out and he attacks him full force. And of course, everyone's like, hold on, what are you doing? And they explain the situation to him. Darkstripe would not have known this information early, and it's possible that at this point he even finds out that it was Tigerclaw that killed Redtail. Of course, he's in disbelief for a while and takes some time to admit that this could be the truth, but everything lines up to that being the truth. He has to do something about this, and he faces Bluestar and says Tigerclaw killed Redtail. Now, Bluestar in the books did not listen to this when it was first announced to her. She had no reason to believe a bunch of young warriors and apprentices, especially when Ravenpaw was so skittish and paranoid already, but she trusted Darkstripe a fair bit more, and now this was numerous testimonies coming together. So this led to, in about book 2, timeline-wise, Tigerclaw getting exiled from the clans. because of that, there was no mixed feelings about him in the clan. A lot of his followers could not see why he would be exiled for seemingly no reason. There wasn't a huge public attack like when he was exiled in the books. Because of that, his mate Goldenflower follows him out of the clan, outraged at Blue Star's seemingly unethical decision making. So they leave the clans and they meet Broken Star and his rogues outside of the clans. Together they talk, as they had both had run-ins with members of Willowclan. When ShadowClan was attacked by ThunderClan and Broken Star was driven out, Yellowfang, she couldn't help get her paws in on this and was informed by Greypaw probably, and Broken Star is like, there is something going on, there are some cats that are banded together working against us that we're not aware about, and Tiger Claw says, I was thinking the exact same thing. And so they go hunt them out. It doesn't take very long searching to find the cats up in Willowclan, up in the Highstones. At this same time, Fireheart and Greystripe would have just gone out to retrieve WindClan from their exile. In this AU, this is just a personal taste thing. I decided to have Mousefur accompany them because it was a bit irresponsible for Blue Star to send 2 fresh warriors out on their own. My reading of this choice, though, was that Tiger Claw very much pushed for this to happen. He very much seemed to be pushing Blue Star into this decision. If you read the books, it seems very much like his idea. I believe that he had already started suspecting in the books that Fireheart and Greystripe were onto him and wanted them out of the clans and potentially in danger, so suggested this idea to Blue Star. However, at this point, he's not in ThunderClan anymore, so they go and do this journey with Mousefur. So they come back and they bring them back, and Mudclaw is a bit suspicious because he realizes that Greystripe looks suspiciously WindClan-ish and suspiciously similar to him and suspiciously similar to his brother who went missing. So the whole journey back, he's on edge and paranoid and overthinking things, and eventually he confronts Tallstar and says, hey, what's going on? Where did my brother actually go? And Tallstar says, oh yeah, that's right, can you go and fetch Morningflower for me? Because Tornear went and took her to his clan. And Mudclaw's like, he what? Mudclaw until this point thought maybe Tornear had died in that WindClan raid, but really he'd just gone off on his own. He felt betrayed. Mudclaw loves his family. So he goes to fetch Morningflower with Deadfoot, and mostly just so that he can give him a piece of his mind of what he thinks of that. Now this happens at the same time that Broken Star and Tiger Star have come on their own to attack the clan, and so Mudclaw and Deadfoot come in this middle of the raid. The scene that I'm drawing here is the raid, and you can see I've got Goldenflower, Ravenpaw, Willowpelt, Broken Star, Tornear jumping on Broken Star. Then at the back we've got Blackfoot. We have Spotted Paw, that's the spotted feather that I mentioned, one of Greystripe's sisters, and then we've got Mudclaw, Deadfoot, and in the very corner you can see Morningflower's ears and Gorse Kit's nose. So a few cats are missing from this scene. Tiger Claw, Yellowfang, and Webfoot are, because I already spent almost 5 hours on this. I am glad I did not have every single cat that was meant to be there. During this battle, Tornear is actually killed a bit horribly. Mudclaw is distraught. He's like, oh my gosh, I just came up here and I watched my brother die. And Spotted Paw just says to him, are you going to stand there or are you going to help me? So Spotted Paw and Mudclaw together drag Tornear's body, and Tiger Heart style, they put him just up next to the moonstone and go, okay, let's hope. And sure enough, it works. StarClan decides to consider Willowclan as a valid clan, and they give Tornear 9 lives and they make him Tornstar, which is a pretty neat name if I'm saying so myself. So Mudclaw, as mad as he is at his brother, is kind of fond of his badass little niece. This clan obviously doesn't follow the traditions that warrior cats clans usually follow, where the first leader of the clan is the namesake of the clan, as Tornstar was the first leader and Willowpelt is the namesake of Willowclan. But Tornstar just loves his wife. He just wants his wife to have the name of the clan because he loves her so much. I believe it was actually Barley in the AU who suggests the name of the clan and coins it, and it catches on amongst them all. Before that point, they hadn't really considered themselves as a clan. So from humble beginnings to being officially recognized by StarClan and having their 9 lives. Of course, the next step after this is going to be recruiting more members into the clan, which will have to be covered in another video because I'm almost done this piece here. There's a lot more plot in this AU that I will have to cover later, such as Darkstripe has a whole story going on. Who is Tornstar going to recruit into this clan? And you might have noticed that if Yellowfang is part of Willowclan, what is ThunderClan going to do for medicine cats? Find out more in the next video because I'm definitely going to be doing a part 2 here, and you can leave any comments below and I can answer them in the next video or give you a reply if it's something short. Now, as for this piece itself, I'm pretty happy with how most of it turned out. You might have noticed at one point I had to redo the entire ground because I wasn't very happy with how it looked. I feel like there's something missing from this image. I'm very out of practice right now with art as I haven't done it in a while. I feel like there should have been more highlights on the cats to make contrast happen, but I love how dynamic their poses are, and I love the final colour scheme at the end when I added a few filters on, and I love the expressions of Broken Star and Mudclaw. Next time, hopefully, I will try and do a more close-up piece where I can do some more interesting lighting, as on this one, I'm very much lacking highlights or anything. Let me know what your favourite piece is of this. I'd have to say that my favourite is Spotted Paw in the back jumping because her face just looks so happy, and I think that the little cut on Tornstar's side really makes a focal point and contrast in the centre there. I hope you enjoyed the first part of my AU speed paint voiceover videos. Maybe I will think of a nicer, shorter, snappier name later on, but for now, I'll see you next time.
Ashes, ashes, dust to dust, I think I found a place for us. It's